2025 apocalypse possibility? Can anyone else feel an apocalypse coming? I know this gets repeated every year, but I'll give my reasoning as to why it can happen. All the whale and fish beachings recently and deep-sea fishes coming to the surface, these are apparently omens of a tsunami or an earthquake. The current political climate is atrocious, no one is taking politics seriously anymore, which is good, but it's making the politicians able to say/do the craziest things. The economy in first world countries are slowly declining, the tipping point towards a crash feels close. Astrological events, a lot of outer planets are changing signs this year, and all planets will be visible in the northern hemisphere, a lot of changing energies at a global scale. There is also a blood moon and a partial eclipse this month. 2025 has been referenced in music as the time of great changes. 2025 is the year the elites have global control in the movie they live. Apocalyptical themes in recent media, the recent Obama-produced movie, Zero Day, Don't Look Up, and music. I personally received a warning via synchronicities that the Antichrist/Dajjal is already here. Tons of weird prophetic/occultic/gemteria events surrounding Donald Trump. If you Anons have any other signs, please let me know. Personally, I rather be safe than sorry, so I'm not leaving any money in the bank, and I'm going to stock up on some food and water. Here are the coincidences surrounding Trump. Trump's mother's name is Mary. Trump's father's name is Christ. Trump was born on the day of the blood moon. Crowley wrote a letter on Trump's birthday saying someone named Ron is trying to create a moon child. In Crowley's book Moon Child, the zodiac wheel is placed on the same position as Trump's birth chart, Leo rising. Donald J. Trump equals 888 in Gematria. Blood moon March 14 equals 888 in Gematria. Trump's uncle is the one who confiscated Nikola Tesla's work. Baron Trump is the president in the book The Last President, written in the 1900s. The Antichrist is coming this year. He will be revealed around March or April. Watch out. He is going to be one of you, a random anonymous that the Jews will artificially promote and make popular. He is going to be a man-child, neat and most likely autistic. This fits in line with the savior son/sun boy figure that the goddess gives birth to. They need a neat man-child, like an Asmongold sort of person who doesn't care about fortune or fame, otherwise people will not trust him. That's why they're picking this person. He will reveal everything that the enemy is doing. Everything. All things will come out in the open, and Lucifer, the false opposition, will be put to death. There is already plenty of symbolism showing how Lucifer plans to die at the hands of the Antichrist. The Antichrist will defeat the false New World Order, so that the real New World Order can finally be put in place. All the Pete Sagats and Illuminati celebrities etc., they were all planned obsolescence. Snapshot this post. This is 1,000,000% going to happen anon. It's happening. I've seen the Gematria. This is year 2025, the year of the snake. The Antichrist is a millennial. His birthday is 322. Crack in the world, Sammy Hagar, 1977. Just 50 more years, we're all gonna know why, when, where, how, and who gets to go, so let's all have a good time before the great divide, cause things will start separating come 2025. https://www.lyricsondemand.com/h/headpe lyrics/tiananmansquaredlyrics.html, 2007. It all started in the year 2025. The working men put their differences aside, Crips and Bloods, aligned with the white pride, took our country back from the inside. The photon bell was rendered ineffectual, the earth remained under quarantine, the cyberpunks took hold of the internet, the coup d'etat was now in full swing. https://genius.com/satan-20-20-5-lyrics, 2013. So it came to pass in the ancient days of immorality there would come a great flood such as the world had never seen. There was pandemonium in the cities and streets. The whole world around, men, women, and children were crushed in the race for higher ground. Fly together holy men and kings, fly Godspeed on golden wings, but holy men and kings would die in the year 2025. https://genius.com/the-flaming-lips-work-to-the-year-2025-now-invisible-now-lyrics, 1997. On some driven ship, the morning commuter ride, everything is orange and bright in reflection. You can see you're standing paralyzed, your suspended disbelief has lied. You're invisible now, and I know that it's hard to get used to, cause you're the last secret agent reporting back, but you're reporting back to nothing. The panoramic scene, the landscape's grand design, the moment overtakes your life in the silver morning sun. The worst is magnified, it makes you see the use of Christ. 20 years, placebo, 2004. There are 20 years to go, and 20 ways to know who will wear the hat. There are 20 years to go, a golden age I know, but all will pass, and end too fast, you know. Trump will usher in the Antichrist. He is the perfect candidate, being a watered-down right-wing Jewish puppet. Forbidden cursed knowledge that torments me day and night. I was chosen to see what others cannot see. Year of the snake you forgot, idiot. 7 is the number of Sabbath, or in the Antichrist's case, the Black Sabbath. 9 is the number for ego. 8 is the number of the feminine, which is stomped to pieces by the Antichrist. His symbol will be the black jaguar. He is the leopard spoken about in the book of Revelation. He is also the little horn spoken about in Revelation. He's called the little horn because we know he's going to be an autistic man-child. It's funny how the Diagil site's reference ended in 2025 while the site itself has since been completely deleted from the internet. L. Ron Hubbard. Elron, yes, not the other way around. He's the founder of Scientology and collaborated with Crowley and Levy in the Babylon working ritual 3 months before Trump's birth. Truth is they summoned Trump's soul to torture and defile him. The one born 3 months later isn't the original authentic guy. Might not believe it. Pearls before swine and all that. Better open up the imagination. The world isn't ending, we are just having a vibe shift because all the outer planets are moving into different transits. Pluto into Aquarius, Neptune into Aries, Uranus into Gemini. The crazy thing is, if you know your history and astrology, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was the French Revolution, the last time Neptune was in Aries was the American Civil War, and every time Uranus entered Gemini, America had a major war. Another thing is the elements involved will now be fire and air. People are going to be more active instead of passive. He is going to be one of you, a random anonymous that the Jews will artificially promote and make popular. He will be a random anonymous who's one of them, which is why they'll promote him. They're the fuckers who spent the past 2,000 years murdering Christian children in their devil-worshipping Moloch sacrifices, after all. Now they've summoned forth their biggest weapon against all godliness and God's creation. That's the dumbest shit in the world. The venom of baby snakes is far more deadly and concentrated than that of adult snakes. Astronomy disagrees though. Nothing ever happens. Apocalypse is the unveiling. The acceleration of the mass wake-up process is happening since 2020. This year a big event in the ballpark of COVID will happen again. The Antichrist is no tool, and is the son of Satan. It will be his command, and he will do from the throne of Moloch as built for him by them. And they want it to happen because they believe it needs to happen, because only in the end days of this age can the third temple be built to start over the world with, to begin a new age. He will probably take the third temple as his throne, too. Until Christ comes to rid the world of him once and for all. There was the threat of Russia losing its shit, but now the US is likely not going to provoke them so much for the next 4 years. Not sure about the China/Taiwan situation though, however I feel that it's unlikely to lead to the end of civilization as we know it. The red heifers are 3 years old this year. Apparently this is peak slaughter age. I hope they do it this Purim. Muslims will freak. Which falls on 14.3 Blood Moon Day. They already selected the architect to design and build the third temple, so yeah bro, they totally do. Cataclysmic natural disasters like super fucker volcanoes or accelerated ice cap melt could be on the table I suppose, but very unlikely. Russia fired a fucking nuke at Ukraine last November, and it hit. Russia then sent the message that next time the warhead won't be deactivated unless those Storm Shadow missiles are withdrawn. That's how fucking close to open nuclear WW3 Zelensky and his pet potato Joe got the world. And it was just 4 months ago. Lady Gaga's album Mayhem releases on March 7th with the songs Disease, Garden of Eden, Die with a Smile, The Beast. The lyrics of The Beast. You can't hide who you are. 11:59, your heart's racing. You're growling, and we both know why. 11:59 most likely refers to the doomsday clock. 14.3 is the day the movie The Day the Earth Blew Up releases. Great year. The sun isn't in the same spot every 3rd of March. It precesses just like the Earth and other planets do. Some people correct for this and use telescopes to do astrology. Others don't and stick with the ancient alignments for reasons of seasonality. If you do correct for precession, a few things make more sense. Pluto left Capricorn in time for Napoleon to show up into the utterly decimated French society and rebuild it with a brand new system and new civic structure, with Pluto in Aquarius, 1794. Likewise, 20 years before then it entered Capricorn, astronomically. To be precise, it entered Capricorn the very month that Washington, Franklin, and Adams agreed at the First Continental Congress that they needed to destroy the banking cabal by first removing access to the Americas from them. Some say they were Masons. At the very least, they were astronomically inclined, and wouldn't be the first or last to arrange plans in accordance with that continuously changing zodiac alignment. The Great Tribulation starts April 8, 2025. The rapture will occur on or before that date. Starting from Israel's entry into the Promised Land, Leviticus 25:2-8, on Nisan 10, 1406 BC, Joshua 4:19, when the Jubilee count began, adding 70 Jubilees, Daniel 9:24-27, brings us to Great Tribulation, Nisan 10, April 8, 2025. Abomination of Desolation, Tishri 10, September 30, 2028. Second Coming, Nisan 10, March 22, 2032. 1406 BC plus 49 * 70 equals 2025 AD. 1 Thessalonians 5:4. But yet, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Jesus, in 60s/early 70s in US we had riots, major riots at political conventions, Russians and US waving nuclear missiles around, hot wars in Vietnam and Angola, the Six-Day War, political leaders getting shot up, JFK/RFK/Milk/Wallace/ endless attempts on Ford. Nixon resigns presidency, and guess what, everyone lived, the planet is still here. But kids nowadays are all, whoa, Russians fucking with their vassal states, and people killing each other in the Middle East, who'd have thunk it? And the kids think it's the end of the world. Jesus, get a grip. Better yet, get a job. And most of all get off my lawn. No they don't. Cowards don't want the responsibility of leadership, or the publicity. They want to secretly do everything from the shadows, while they have some public figure absorb all the attention. That's what the Antichrist is. It's a way for occultist cowards to hide, and have a central figure that will keep the world nice and stabilized for them, all while they still in secret get to be pieces of shit. The Antichrist will be that tool used by them, because they are the ones who will artificially blow him up. But what they don't know, is that when he dies and comes back to life, he's going to change and betray them. This is what is going to happen. Just because they're having some third temple built for him, doesn't mean they're not using him. He is a Messiah of their convenience. They never accepted the true Messiah, Jesus, because they are selfish and want someone suitable that they like. It's got to be on their terms. Satanism is all about worshipping yourself at the end of the day, and that's exactly what they do. References: Leviticus 25:2-8. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Joshua 4:19. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, in the east border of Jericho. Daniel 9:24-27. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand, that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks, the street shall be built again, and the wall, even in true blues times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the Prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. The final red pill. Obviously, most people think that this planet is Earth, but it's not. It's actually Basra, God's secondary creation. And in terms of human civilization, it has no future. Note, the X content only summarizes the material. To access the Reddit content, use the link in my pinned X thread. This planet is not Earth. It is Basra. Earth is another planet about 75,000 light-years from here, whereas this planet is merely an imposter planet that calls itself Earth. Big difference. And trust me, I know how to count to 10 seconds, accurately. What used to be 10.00 seconds, for me, is now a whopping 15.00 seconds. If you don't believe me, see Matthew 24:22 and Revelation 8:12. For the natives, though, the speed of time here has always been the same. If you are a Basra native, you are in serious trouble. The people of this planet must acknowledge that Basra is not Earth and that Jesus is coming to destroy it. Otherwise, don't expect God to save you. In regard to people saying that my claim about the time difference is based on the Bible, by mid-August of 2019, I had already made the claim that this planet is a replica version of the real Earth. My claim was based on things such as the changes in human anatomy and the 2 additional occupants in the JFK car. It wasn't until the following month, September 2019, that I found out about FDR being on the dime instead of Eisenhower. And then in mid-September, I found out about the time difference. And then 10 months after that, on July 19, 2020, I discovered Revelation 8:12. So, no, my claim about the time difference is not based on the Bible. One astrologer recently said that he looked into the far past for the last couple thousand years and couldn't find anything like what will happen in March and early April. The closest anything this big happened was the 570s BC. Think about that. Roughly around that time saw the ending of one era and the beginnings of a new one. Many famous leaders and philosophers came about or roughly around that period. Cyrus the Great, the Buddha, Pythagoras, Confucius. Netanyahu and Zelensky seem to enjoy it just fine. They want the power as God's chosen. The ones in the West where their 0.5% of the population manipulate in the shadows for the most part, but ones like the Rothschilds, Soros, and Fink don't even try to hide their puppet master ways. References: Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. 1 Corinthians 15:50-55. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I shew you a mystery, we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? 1 Thessalonians 4:13-18. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. 1 Thess. 5:9. For God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ. 2 Peter 2:9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. When I mean apocalypse, I don't mean the end of the world as we know it. I meant the end of the current era. I got The Magician and the World when doing a reading for this year. Looks like it could very well be the end of major cycles. The apocalypse does not wipe out humanity or destroy the earth. It just hits the reset button to make mankind start over again. It happened before with the Ice Age and following global flood wiping out all previous civilizations that we're still slowly learning about. It sort of happened in medieval times when the Black Plague wiped out 1/3 of humanity, but in the aftermath the Renaissance and a new age of prosperity and enlightenment was born. It does lower humanity's global population, which sort of needs to happen anyway if we are to have resources well within the future. Current global populations are environmentally unsustainable. I am not someone who lives in a third world tin shack and can't afford shit, yet decided to have a fuckload of kids. I am not someone who didn't take my time in school seriously, so I'm dumber than shit today, so I didn't have 5+ kids by 5 different men while putting the taxpayers on the hook for them. I am definitely not a part of the problem. The Antichrist is coming. This is not a drill. They know who he is. They're ready to reveal. Prepare your bodies. Prepare your anuses. He will expose everything. It will flip the world on its head. Again I repeat, this is not a drill. The big reveal in One Piece is the world government is hiding to the population that there will be a global flood. I'm in contact with my guardian angels. Approximate 6 mo from now is an event which is either going to be Ascension or you go ring around the rosy again until you get it. For people who survive the event, they will be in Revelation's time. When the hero arrives, millions will call him Antichrist. Do not be deceived. The beginning of Daniel's 70th week. The prophecy that predicted the exact day the Messiah. The same prophecy that foretold when the Messiah would come the first time also says when the tribulation starts and when the Messiah returns. But math is hard, I get it. I posted all the references. Trump is a deal maker who wants to avoid war in every possible way. WW3 got postponed for now unless China and India decide to go at it against each other, or some other factor outside of the US and Europe does something stupid. An angel from heaven will be flying around telling people not to take the mark and they're still going to take it. Nothing ever happens. Baron is also a demon's name, but no one ever thinks this is weird for some reason. Is anyone else going through very heavy spiritual warfare? I was a cook, typical 4chan user. No girlfriend ever, bad friends, emotionally abusive parents. I had chronic fatigue and quit multiple jobs. Life seemed so scary for me. But I was genuinely pure at heart. I have an overwhelming sense of confidence and my presence makes other people enjoy themselves. My dog, who never is around me, can't leave me alone. My friends are showing themselves for who they are. My car is cooked. My friend who shares similar experiences just got his windows bashed in. Weird times. I believe big things will be happening this year, but not end of the world kind of stuff. Matthew 24:35-36. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Saying no man knows of the day or the hour of the Lord is different than saying no man knows the date of the rapture. The day of the Lord and the hour of the Lord are both names for the second coming. Nobody knows how it'll be, not when it'll be. You can calculate exactly when it will be because it's 2,520 days after the start of the Great Tribulation. Amazing. Do you think through your posts before you make them, or do they just flow out of you like explosive diarrhea? Yeah, nah. 2012 was the big one. After that every one of these has been gay. We're in Weimar times right now, you're more likely to see a new Reich rather than an apocalypse. World of Warcraft. World Soul. Notice how it says The War Within and Midnight, and that it's released as a trilogy. The War Within because people won't be able to cope with the knowledge. Midnight because things are going to get dark. They know. The Bible specifically forbids divination and searching for omens, so every Anon discussing this from a Christian point of view is a fake Christian. It's artificial intelligence, not some random need. LMAO. They pretty much already revealed to us that our phones are constantly listening to our every word, which in turn generates data sold off to corporations. You don't think AI is already running the show? The Antichrist does have a body to host him, yet. Luciferianism is technological in nature. I don't know for sure who it will be. Elon is coming out with brain chips, and Sam Altman has the 666 name. I remember when people thought it was Ronald Reagan because each of his names had 6 letters. No. He will be aligned with the energies of the sun. So morality, goodness, fake Christianity. Trannies want like that. Watch Tokyo Revengers. The main character of that show is the Antichrist archetype. He's a self-insert for needs. Considering Trump's track record of endlessly fellating and prostrating before Israel is second only to India, I strongly doubt this will ever be the case. I manifested October 7th happening. You can just ask Grok how fake your reality is.
To the town of Outfield rode it straight to one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't.
Are you a targeted individual? Have you had a paranormal encounter, or are the victim of an unregulated government experiment and would like to share your story with us? Would you like to send us some fan mail or a hate-filled rant? Do you have an idea for a future episode or wish to send a complaint to HR? Email us at atomicshameandsweatlodge@protonmail.com.
Bunch of savages in this town.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.